We focus on what matters most, combining product innovation with human connection.
Yeah.
So we stand for humanizing the finance.
It's important to have that human, to meet customers on a human level first, even though you're selling a digital product or a remote product.
My mission was to make sure that integration wasn't just operational, but kind of emotional. So people and colleagues could feel that they are a part of something bigger.
Thanks for doing it today, because I know you're busy as well. There's lots going on. I thought to start with, it might be nice if for the audience, if you introduce yourself and kind of tell us a little bit about your journey, where you've come from, and how you
Mhm.
kind of arrived into marketing. Because I know
Mhm.
your background was more sales, so that's maybe quite a nice story you could tell the audience about.
Well, my career path started in real estate industry, and I was working in marketing and business development, a lot with B2B clients. And it was a space actually where I learned a lot about relationship building, branding, how to position like complex products in competitive markets. And over time, I wanted to switch to more dynamic industry and innovative sector, which drew me to fintech. And while the transition wasn't really easy,
Hmm.
fintech has its own language, of course, pace and complexity. And I found myself learning a lot and incredibly fast. And what is more importantly, I really enjoyed it. So
Hmm.
this is where I feel really confident now, and I love what we do.
Yeah, so moved into more of a marketing role, right? And that's where you
Right.
are now. So
Yes, marketing and PR.
Yeah. So ColibrixOne, tell us a little bit about ColibrixOne, what it does, what do they do? As you said, I know it's in the fintech space, but yeah, tell us a bit more.
Well, ColibrixOne is one-stop financial platform that combines multiple services such as acquiring, virtual cards for media buying, and multi-currency accounts for businesses that want to operate globally without any complexity of like the traditional banking. What drew me to Colibrix was the vision, like huge support from the board management, and it wasn't about just building a payment tool, but more creating the financial backbone for big companies and teams. And actually, a big moment in our journey was the brand merger earlier this year. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
brought different teams and products under a single, let's say, umbrella, one
Okay.
identity, which is ColibrixOne now. And it was more than a name change. It was about uniting the cultures, aligning strategies, creating one clear history for all the clients and for the markets. And well, my mission was to make sure that integration wasn't just operational, but kind of emotional. So people and colleagues could feel that they are a part of something bigger.
So they were different brands, were they? But were they different, offering different services under the different
Mhm.
brands? Is that what it was? Okay.
They were we actually had different names. For example, we're Colibrix for acquiring, just Colibrix from the start. Then we had Colibrix partners for our media buying clients and affiliates. Then we had Melifera, which included the bank accounts and IT solutions such as gateways, AI, um, different novelties for our clients which wanted to build their own uh, payment gateway, for example. And
Hmm.
yeah, we do a lot of different things. We have almost 200 people, and I believe that by the end of the year we'll have more. So we're growing pretty fast, and we're happy that more and more people get to know us. And this is truly like a big move for us to underline the whole story and to merge it and to
Yeah.
show that we became bigger within just 4 years, I would say 5 years.
Yeah, short period of time. So these different brands, were there, so they're effectively working as different departments the different companies. You've got different departments of teams, have you? And then you had to bring these together under the one brand.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We had this approach that every business had its own clients, but now all the clients are like common. So we know
Okay.
what is going on in different departments. All is like crystal clear. We work more as a one team.
And that's not easy. I know I've been through a number of mergers and acquisitions, and it's not easy bringing different teams together. So how was that? How did that go? Were there any challenges? How did you get over those? How did you solve those?
It was quite challenging because we had to start using different programs, such as not only like emails, for example, or Jira,
Hmm.
or Slack, or some these kind of tools.
Yeah, different systems. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to put all in one. So we did our own program,
Okay.
which we use, and of course we had to learn a lot, to prepare a lot in order to merge all our departments. And we did a lot of team buildings just to meet in person with every colleague.
Yeah.
So this was a very interesting time, very fast, and because we had not only to meet each other, but also to work a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was tough times, but at the same moment, it was wonderful because we got to know each other more and we're more friendly. We're like a big family. So,
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah. So you've not only got kind of the operational using different systems that you've got to get people on,
mhm,
onto
mhm,
the sort of same systems and
mhm,
working nicely together like that and cohesively like that. But you've got nothing's better than getting in a room, right? But you've got the kind of relationship building as well across the team that you
mhm,
had to work on.
mhm,
Okay. Yeah, nothing quite beats just getting in a room, does it? And sort of building those relationships, getting to know people on a personal level so that you can,
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
work together. Okay,
It's
nice.
important to meet the people, to know the people you're working with,
Yeah.
because otherwise, you can write, I don't know, emails, notifications, messages, and you don't know a person who you're talking to. You don't know
Yeah.
when he answers. But
Yeah.
you start to understand the personality more, habits, and etc. So you get,
Mm.
mm, I don't know, more into this life inside of the company. And
Yeah. So you had to obviously do that quite quickly then, get people on board, same systems, you know, good relationships, build those relationships. As you say, you've got, like a family now, but what kind of things did you do? I think you mentioned some activities that you did last time, so hackathons and things like that to get that team building approach.
Well, I mentioned before a few activities, but they were more about our clients, not the inside teams. Of
Oh,
course,
okay.
we have a lot of master classes. We have professional uh, like meetings with the nice, I don't know, table talk, round to table talks, and we have. How's it called, like studying modules within the company. Of course, we upgrade our knowledge and we
Hmm.
always know what is going on in the business. And what I mentioned before is more about uh, like the customer like, first approach,
Okay.
and which is like the core of our business. And delivering unique experience and always starts with understanding the client's specific needs and challenges. Um, and when we think of our product, we always do it like, with the end user in mind, not just offering tools, but making sure that they are intuitive, easy to manage, and directly solve real business problems. I can even mention as an example, like one case. So,
Yeah.
for example, one our affiliate client who was using our virtual cards, he was running high volume campaigns across several markets, but constantly struggled with card limits and slow support. from the previous provider.
Ah,
And so we worked closely to understand the operational flow. We designed a tailored program with higher limits, real-time spend control, and direct access to our support team. So basically, our support team works 24/7, like literally. They are always on the phone. And so within weeks, their campaign efficiency improved, and they told us that they finally felt that they had a partner who understand the pace of the business. And now we are very good friends with this client, with this our partner. We grow together. We co-create together. We build our businesses together. So
it's so important, isn't it? I mean, obviously, a lot of my background was in the UX space as well, so not just marketing. So that's obviously a big kind of key to that, really. Customer first approach and making sure you understand what's important to them and what works for them. But I think it translates across everything, really. Sales, marketing, that kind of approach translates across, doesn't it? Um,
mm-hmm.
so you had to bring up, so you had all these different clients in the different departments under the different brands, and you had to bring them all together, not just obviously your team together or your departments together, to understand that they're speaking with these different customers in different who you have different relationships with. Um, so you had to foster that kind of customer first approach and make sure you were treating every client equally. Yeah, really important, especially, I mean, in such a competitive space as well, like fintech. Um, and historically, the fintech space, certainly, some of the older players, I speak from my experience using some of the older banks, your Barclays, your HSBC. What I've seen is that their transition to tech and to more efficient, improving their systems and improving what they're doing, the way they're working. A lot of it seems to be, or feels like, from the customer's perspective, from my perspective as a customer, that they're doing it for efficiency savings on their side, on the bank's side. You know, obviously, a lot of banks got rid of their actual stores or
Mm-hmm.
locations, so you can't go in the bank, and then it's all online. But then I found, a lot of them difficult to deal with, and as you said, the support service isn't there. So yeah, it's so how have you, apart from that customer first approach, how are you standing out in that competitive space? What kind of things have you done?
We focus on what matters most, combining like product innovation with human connection.
Yeah.
So we stand for humanizing the finance, which I really like to tell about. And
Hmm.
for example, on the product side, we differentiate through integration. Like instead of patchwork of tools, we offer a single financial backbone, as I told before, that scales with the client's growth. On the brand side, we make sure that people don't just know us, but they can experience us. So there's where conferences and events play a big role, and at places such as, let's say, SBC Summit, which is going to be in a few weeks in Lisbon, or
Okay.
Payment Leaders Summit. We're not just attending, we're creating touch points with clients. We're building huge stands. And our clients, partners, and even our competitors, they can engage with us in person with ideas, challenges, and see the value we bring in person. And beyond visibility, these events let us listen to the market and build trust face to face, for example, and turn conversations into lasting partnerships. So I think it's really important to go and visit as much as possible these kind of professional events, conferences, some places where you can meet like minded same minded people,
Yeah, like-minded people. Yeah.
unminded people, exactly. And in these days, in such competitive industry, it's not enough just to have a good product. You need to build a brand that people remember, And for us, for example, it means to show up with substance, not just presence.
Yeah.
So also leadership on stage, hands-on demos, initiatives like own Fintech club, which I also talked about a little bit before. And this all extends our energy into this ongoing community and builds a big trust.
Hmm. That's really interesting. So, obviously, your product is predominantly digital, right? It's a digital service
Yeah.
that you do. It's an online service.
Yeah.
It's digital, remote. But you feel that, or you felt that, and you feel that it's important to have that human, to meet customers on a human level first, even though you're selling a digital product or a remote product. You felt it's important to meet them on a human level. That's interesting, yeah. And conferences as well, because obviously, certainly since COVID, I I felt like conferences kind of fell off the map really, and I've certainly not really attended in the last 3 or 4 years conferences. But you found that really worked for you. That's how you've driven a lot of your growth, is it?
Exactly. Actually, it helped us to grow really what I call fast. And in 3 days, you can meet with so many people. You can talk to them, discuss, visit different panels. And actually, it's really like the fastest way to meet in person with someone you really look for, with a client or with some kind of l- I don't know, professional leader you can get some professional advice from. So it's
Mm.
really, really cool that there are these kind of events.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So not being a faceless organization, but being there in
Mhm.
person, connecting on a human level,
Mhm.
but delivering online digital tools. And what kind of approach did you take on the conferences? Because there's always so many. When I speak to people, there's always so many conferences to go to. They can be quite costly. It feels like. So how do you choose where to go? How do you build that up? How do you afford to go to all of them? How did you manage that?
Well, actually, we started when I just came to the company. We started to explore which conferences are most like visited, which where are the most people are going from the
Traffic,
industry.
yeah.
Yeah, traffic. It was ICE, of course, in London. It was Sigma in Malta, and it was SBC in Barcelona, I think before. Yeah, now it's in Portugal and in Lisbon, but before it was in Barcelona. So we chose like the main events. So we, uh,
Okay, so some initial research
yes,
on traffic and attendance and levels. Yeah. Okay.
and of course we spoke also to our friends, partners, what they
Yeah.
think where we should go first, where should we make a bigger stand, for example, or smaller, or maybe we need to add some activities for these events, for example, like parties or just a very um, private dinner or
Mm.
something else,
Yeah,
maybe
great. Again,
sport.
staying close to the customer, listening to what they want, understanding what they want, what type of events they want to attend. Yeah. Okay.
So we started with a very small stand. It was just 15 square meters.
Okay.
I remember it was very nice and it was different actually from other stands because it was in these like sunset colors, ingredient colors. It was full of real greens, like the leaves, the palm leaves, and we wanted to attract a lot of people, and we did our best with it. So it was really nice. Not a classic financial stand, actually. So
Right.
everybody were coming to us like, "Oh, you're so nice. You're so interesting." They took pictures. So what do you do? And then we had some additional promo, of course, in LinkedIn and in Facebook and so on. And then we started to um, make our stands larger. So now this year, I think we will have one of the biggest. It will be more than 80 square meters.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I love that. I love that. You have to try and stand out, don't you, at conferences or with anything really, but you have, memorable. How can you be memorable? How can you stand out? I love that idea where you said, people were coming to you and they were taking photos. And I know there was a story with uh, totally different sector, but a hotel group in Liverpool, um, and not far from where I am, and they would keep they would take old buildings that were, had some kind of historical meaning about them or story to them, um, and they would retain that story, and then build out the hotel within that story, and then all the decor and everything would be built in that story, and then customers would go there and they would take lots of selfies and take lots of pictures and sell and promote the hotel, because through social media they would be promoting it. The customers would be promoting it themselves, saying, "Oh, I'm here," and taking pictures with different things. And so yeah, and I love that story of how you try to create something that's yeah, attracts people, that's memorable, that gets them sort of engaging in it. Yeah, but it's not easy, of course. It's not easy, is it? So did you have to do a lot of learning? And I mean, you mentioned you've gone from small place to a small stand to a much bigger stand now, but you had to. How did you get there? Did you have to try different things? Did you have to learn what worked?
I think it's very important to make some after work and analytics, what worked best for us, what worked not so good. Like it can be like taken even from details such as drinks people prefer more,
Mm, yeah, yeah.
or the
Some
places they
minutia.
take.
Yeah.
Yeah, the places, the corners of the stand, they take more pictures or less pictures. Do they like music or not? What do they come more in the morning or later to the show end? Um, then what else? How many visit cards do we have? Or maybe we don't have. How many, I don't know, people are interested in not only in like one product but in all products. So it's a lot of work after the exhibition, because in the end of the day, uh, after seeing so many different things, you have to be remembered. And when you are remembered, that's what I'm always telling my team, that don't be afraid to be colorful, fun, not just, okay, we're talking about business, but we can talk in a very comfortable atmosphere. Very, like when you come to the stand and you can feel like at home, you can relax and discuss anything.
Yeah, yeah. Feel comfortable. Yeah. Um, I love the kind of psychology of it all. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and Robert Cialdini was talking on it, and he was talking about a story of, um, I think it was a wine shop, and they were doing some tests, and they tested with like playing um, French music and then playing German music, and
Oh
they
yeah,
found
I saw this.
you see that, and they heard that, and they found that people who, when they played the French music, people were more likely to buy French wine, and then when they played the German music, people were more
Yeah,
likely to buy the German wine. So it's amazing those little points that can influence and and push people in certain directions. Just naturally.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
uh,
music, even the smell on the stand. I mean,
yeah.
it's not like, for
Fresh
example, on
bread,
yeah, yeah,
fresh
yeah,
croissants. Yeah,
coffee in the morning. It's very
coffee. Yeah,
attractive, by the way.
yeah, yeah. People, yeah, come for the coffee. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I can think the other point about that testing and learning though, and seeing what works and iterating is so important as well. And that's again, not just in things like conferences, but anything, whether it's marketing or sales or, um, I mean, I do a lot of LinkedIn now, as you know, and I started over the past sort of year, you know, um, producing more content, but you almost have to jump in and do it. And it's like with the conferences, you didn't just try one and do a one big stand, or put all your budget in one and then not do anything else. You tried different things, didn't you? And you kind of spread your budget across. Is that right? Across different conferences, so you could test and see what worked best and learn. And yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So, what about any? would that be kind of one of your more favorite campaigns on the conferences side, or is there a reflection or a favorite campaign or initiative you could talk about, something that worked well maybe, or and then maybe as well as that, maybe a marketing mistake that taught you something valuable?
Well, yeah, I can tell about one mistake which I learned, and it
You
was
always learn more from mistakes, don't you?
yeah,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately. But when you learn for the first time and you are smart, you don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So it was an early campaign where we tried to say too much at once and address the message to a very wide audience. And we wanted to highlight like every feature, every benefit, thinking that the more information meant more value.
Yeah.
So instead, actually, I ended up confusing the audience. And the lesson was clear that the simplicity always wins. Like
Yeah.
a sharp, focused story resonates far more than a long list of selling points. And that's something that I carry into every campaign now.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I used to when I used to work on more on the product and UX space, definitely saw that people coming with product ideas and wanting to do lots of different features and be and solve lots of problems when actually if they just when we focused and found the customer's biggest problem and when they were able to just solve that, that can be so much more powerful.
hmm
And you can find actually by focusing and by yeah, by being sort of um helping in a big way on the biggest problems, you don't need all these other features necessarily. That's not what convinces people or make
hmm
gets them to take that next step and convert or buy or do whatever it is you want them to do, sign up. Yeah, okay.
I think it's important to be, to be a little bit picky.
Hmm.
Like you have to take one
Yeah.
product and be picky with the small audience and test it. Then you can take another product and test it with another group of people and like, analyze the results, of course. So not throwing all your products into all the audience and then the results. And I think it's not working these days.
I don't know if some of it comes from um, people trying to get be bigger and get more scale and feel they need to do all these products and do all these hit all these markets. But yeah, you're also splitting. I mean, we talked about budget and time. You're splitting your efforts as well across so many
Mhm.
things then as well. Whereas if you can focus and get good results in fewer, and then look to scale once you have those results, yeah, which it sounds like what you guys are doing really well. So yeah, I'm conscious of time, but if you have time, maybe we could touch on just finally how you kind of measure success then, and how you've because that was a campaign that didn't go so well, but how do you measure success? What going forward?
I would say that, well, of course, we have these KPIs and all these classic marketing things. I think it's kind of boring to talk about them again and again. But what I really liked, how I personally measure and how our department measures the success, it's about the how long do we mm, build the relationships from the engagement point till we see our client who visits us every stand, who wants to fly and to meet us in person in our office or we are in his office, etc. Of course, it takes time, but every day, every week, we think of every client, what he wants, what he needs. We listen carefully to him, and actually it's very important to like measure these kind of relationships, so the more attentive you are, the more the faster the client will be, well, let's say yours.
Hmm.
But in a good sense, I mean,
Yeah.
in a friendly sense, when you are um becoming like a part of something which you share, like the same vision, the same um mission. Like we have our own slogan, one team, one dream, one mission. So this is not only we share inside of our company, but also outside with the partners and clients.
So it's almost you know the story underneath the numbers, the feelings and the stories underneath the numbers as well are important.
Mm-hmm.
Are those
Yes.
relationships building in the right way? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you might have customers, but they might not be fully happy with that relationship, but the product works for them and they just stick with it. But for you, it's a bit more than that as well. It's not, those numbers are obviously important, and sign-ups and customers and things like that. But what are those relationships? Are they happy? Are they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it should be balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. It's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, unless you have any other stories you want to tell us about Alexandra, I think that's great. I'm conscious of your time, but that was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the questions. It was
No,
really
thank
nice
you.
to meet you and to take part in your podcast. And
Thank
I
you.
hope people will like it.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'm sure they will. That was brilliant. Thank you. Thanks, Alexandra. I'll speak to you soon.
Yes, sure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.